The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal Big Footy rules still apply.
Alright, so this is the Flogcast for round 6. The emotionally checked out Tiger Starburns is here, and I'm joined by the... this is where
it's not like this part.
This part. I've been going really well this year, but I've had too many drinks today.
Yeah, you really have, haven't you? You've been killing it.
I have been. I've been doing very well at this, Dan. That is our resident ladder collector, Dan.
Oh, this is me. Hello, yes. Hello, one and two. Is the round finally finished? Because it's Wednesday.
Hang on, what are you? I remembered there was something I was going to call you. You're the... What is he of podcasts?
The
Jake
leader,
Stringer. Was it the Jake Stringer podcast or was it something else?
Jake Stringer of podcasts.
Jake Stringer of podcasts. Taking a big dump all over the place.
Well, that hasn't been proven yet. That's still that I'm still sore on that because I fell in for that thinking it was true, and now it turns out it wasn't. Like I got really excited about the idea of someone taking a shit in someone's locker.
Who gets excited about the idea of someone taking a shit in someone's locker?
Dan?
If you heard it before, the number one fan of Scott Pendlebury from Collingwood, Morgan Ashley.
I preferred it when I was the Queen, but that's all right.
And finally, one of her sycophants, the Andrew Mackey of podcast from St Kilda Cookson.
Hello all.
Let's go into goo or tears.
I'm going to have political goo. Okay, reading through the news this week, and a country has decided to change its name. The country of Swaziland is now Eswatini.
Okay, I thought it was going to be New Zealand was going to call themselves Australia B.
Oh, no, they'll probably call themselves the sheep fucker country. or Pluggerville.
Pluggerland.
Every year is 1994.
Okay, so why does that provide you with goo, Cookson?
It was just funny when I was reading it. It's like, this guy is completely in charge. He's like, yep, let's change my country.
It would have been cooler if he changed it to his own name. It's just sort of like how was it, like Zaire or somewhere went to Democratic Republic of Congo, which you just know. Whenever a country puts democratic or peoples or whatever in there, you know they're not nice.
You know it's a regime.
The more democratic things they have, the bigger communists they are.
People's Republic of North Korea. Or Democratic People's Republic, or whatever Korea is.
And whatever China is. China's just a more socially accepted version of North Korea. Don't ever be fooled of that.
That is true, but I think they do get to eat a little bit more.
Yeah, as long as they pick it themselves.
They also make a lot of shit that we use.
Yeah, and that's why. If North Korea exported shit that we wanted, we would be all for whatever their regime was.
Yeah, and if they brought all our shit in the holes that we dig up from WA. So anything more on that, Cookson? That's very obscure.
What is it? What is it? Eswatini?
Yep.
I like it.
It's like East Geelong.
So they could rebrand it. East Geelong, now E Geelong.
So what does it mean, Cookie?
It means land of the Swazis in Swazi.
Oh, okay. So in Swazi is actually Swatini. What?
I wonder if the people of Swatini are shaken or stirred about the new name of their country.
Swatini.
Nice. Well done, Dan.
Who's next?
Dan.
Me, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably opening myself up for more bus jokes, but again, we had to use replacement buses this week.
Fuck with your routine.
No, it's not my routine. I have no choice. I'm like everybody else that has to try and get to the football. We've got to get on these replacement buses, and you have the metro staff telling you which bus to get on, which one goes direct, and which one stops at all the stations, and they mix that up. You end up getting on the bus that stops at every station, and you end up missing half the game.
Oh, the best half too.
Yeah.
There was the jinx again.
North potentially losing the game against Hawthorn after being 60-something points up. So, yeah, metro, buses and all that shit, it is gay as AIDS, and I'm sick of getting on the bus. What else?
Very homophobic.
Highly recommend that you get on the bus. Highly recommend you get on the bus.
Oh yeah, we beat Hawthorn. That was alright. It was a nice surprise win.
It's really sad that you missed your best half of footy in fucking forever.
Yeah, I know. It kind of ruined my day. I mean, what can you do?
How late were you leaving it that you missed a half due to the bus?
Well, I didn't look up Metro website because I didn't think there were any maintenance works on my line. Stupid me, didn't look up. So I left. I usually get at the ground, maybe 5-10 minutes before the game starts.
Oh, Johnny.
And I ended up getting on a bus that stopped at every station along the way when I was told the bus that I was on was going to be a direct bus. So I ended up missing the first half of the game, the good half, as Morgan pointed out, when Ben Brown just went berserk and we looked
Well,
like
Dan, I think it's time for you to start missing North games, because if you miss more games, they might play better.
Yeah, thanks for that, Cookson. So we beat Hawthorn, which was nice. James Sicily is a piece of shit. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not saying this because we're on a Bay 13 podcast. He is a legitimate piece of shit. There's no...
You've just transitioned to like 3 different things in this basic course.
There's no excuse for the things that guy does. You can't put dancing on the line or playing on the edge with the things that this guy does on the football field. He's a maggot, and we need to take him out.
Okay, since Dan's gone down that road, I'm going to segue to my tiers for this week, which is a combination of Michael Christian and the Tribunal. Now, almost every decision that went to Christian or to the Tribunal ended up being wrong this week. They got the Lindsay Thomas one right in the end, but they fucked up on Burton. They fucked up on...
Oh, shit, I forgot about Ryan Burton. Fucking hell, how did he get off?
I have no fucking clue how he gets off that.
Your guy's a dog.
He could have tackled him. He could have fucking tackled him.
Yes, he could have tackled him. And he chose to bump.
And he hits him and Christian's justification was pathetic. He's been roundly criticised and deservedly so for it.
It doesn't mean we're going to suspend him.
And
idiot! Ash was supposed to suspend him. He was knocked out. He couldn't play the rest of the game. He might not even play this week.
He doesn't even remember the day his child was born, you fucking prick.
Disgraceful.
The only karma out of this is the fact that he didn't get into the ground today for half an hour and he had to stand there trying to get a ticket. Fucking idiot.
Does that invalidate any father-son claims for the Dogs and North? Or daughter, was it?
Daughter, Rosie.
Does that invalidate any claims? If you can't remember it, did it really happen?
It didn't happen.
I guess she can play for Fremantle. There was that. There was Tom Mitchell did the exact same thing as Jack Graham, but because he's in the running for the Brownlow, it's okay. But worst of all, and I've saved the worst till last, how does Joel Selwood basically choke a guy with his jumper, get a week, deservedly so? Christian actually got that one right. How does that go to tribunal and get overturned? Because reasons. He's a dog. We all know it.
Because he's a protected species?
Yeah, no, because it's his brother and because Chris cried a lot. Like.
But when are they going to remove Lindsay's week for hitting Selwood? Like...
Oh, was the last week for hitting... I don't
yes.
know what the last
yes.
week.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. So, Lindsay didn't challenge because he knew he was guilty, but Selwood's a fuckhead who did challenge, and I'm just waiting for when Lindsay gets his week back.
Yeah, because that's, like, you can fucking see it. He presses the jumper down on either side of his shoulder. It is not... what's the word? It is... dragging across his throat. It's hard to choke someone from that perspective, but the fact is, it is a bad look and you shouldn't be doing it. Why the fuck are you doing that to a guy who's not doing anything to anyone at that stage? Thomas has already bumped Scott Selwood. So what's Joel doing? He's just enacting the eye for an eye. That's all that is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like, he gets a free pass because Thomas lined up his brother? No, Thomas gets 3 weeks for lining up his brother. Doesn't mean Joel gets to come in and initiate the Liam Jarrah traditional justice and choke the cunt.
You're not the judge, jury, and executioner, cunt. Get out of the fucking way.
The fact that he got one, I thought was minor, but he probably could have easily got two. But the fact he got off at all is pathetic, and that is a gutless call.
And Lindsay still got his week. It's pathetic.
Like, that was worse than the Burton one, I feel, because Burton fucks up in a split second. Selwood has enough time to reconsider that action and even back off, but he doesn't, and that was the worst of the week for mine. And yeah, I really hated most of the tribunal calls this week, but that one really pissed me off. Because if roles were reversed, how many weeks would Lindsay Thomas have got? Not only because it's Lindsay Thomas, but because it would have been Joel Selwood. If someone did that to Joel Selwood, anyone did that to Joel Selwood, they would be looking at 2 or 3, and everyone would go, "Oh yeah, that's right, because Joel Selwood's a ball player." Blah, 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 goo goo goo. Like,
they're literally drowning in his goo at the moment. It makes me fucking sick.
I haven't seen much coverage since it got overturned. I was in the bar last night when it got overturned, and I couldn't believe. At the same time, I wasn't surprised, but I couldn't believe. Like, it's just one of those times where it's like with Trump getting elected. You don't think it's going to happen, but when it does, you actually, in a way, you're not surprised by people. And that's what this was. Because Joel Selwood is basically Donald Trump. There's no redeemable features about him. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
Calling him Donald Trump, I mean, that's a bit... Yeah.
No, it's Joel Selwood. Fuck him.
Probably harsh on Trump.
He cheats the rules like Trump cheated his election, and I stand by it.
And he's played with all the pussies.
I think that leaves just Morgs.
I've got Guru for Robbo having to go to 360 tonight and try to act like he wasn't personally offended by Essendon's performance today. The way he had to suck a lemon was delicious. Like, he was so angry because that was his team and they were so shit. And then he was trying to say that, like, we weren't good, that the whole game was crap. We weren't good, just Essendon was shit. I'm like, there's a reason why 5 of the top 6 possession getters on the ground were all Essendon players. Because all we allowed them to do was kick it back and forward. They weren't allowed to go anywhere. We just held them up at every point. And he was furious. Absolutely furious. It was delicious.
I hear he did turn up late as promised, which is hilarious that a guy can actually turn up to a show like that.
That he made Gary Lyon fill in for half an hour because he refused to come at 7 o'clock.
He's like, Dan.
No. He's like, my contract says 7:30. Like, Dan says, my contract says 11. I'm not coming before then.
I actually sort of agree with him to a degree, though. Like, yes, Collingwood were good, but being at that game, the way that Essendon... and this is an indictment on Essendon's midfield, because apart from Adam Sard, I can't think of a ball user in that side. Like, Heppel's a crab, Parrish doesn't hurt ya. There are so many one-dimensional vanilla players in that Essendon midfield and off half-back.
Devon Smith.
I think Smith does all right, but you got to play him forward as centre is the problem. He should be playing more forward. But the point of it is these are guys that do not hurt you. They are crabs. They pick up cheap junk Goddard disposals. And
yeah, disposals, you mean?
No, fuck off. They pick up so many cheapies that all you got to do is hang back and wait for them to not pull the trigger. They will go sideways, they will go short, and eventually they will fuck it up. But
it wasn't just them. Like, Hurley.
Yeah.
Hurley's not a bad player. Why is he fucking chipping back to fucking 5 metres out from our goal rather than kick it down the middle, mate? Take the game on.
I think there's a lack of faith as well and if we're done on Robbo, we'll just transition straight into Anzac Day.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lack of faith in that forward line. Because, one, when the ball hits the deck, 95% of the time today, Collingwood had the outnumber at every contest.
Yeah, just bounce back out.
Yeah, and forward line, probably 100% in Essendon's forward line, but all across the ground, probably 95%. And it was just like, even when it was in Collingwood's forward line, Collingwood had the outnumber, which shouldn't be happening. It felt like Collingwood had 2 more players out there because Essendon have no presence, certainly forward or centre, at ground level. Their midfield lacks pace and it lacks penetration in kicking.
They were the complete unaccountable side today. We could run 3-4 deep, players just running in a line with each other, and they wouldn't even hit an Essendon player for 30 metres. No one would be there.
No.
They just, I don't know where they were, but they never attacked us.
That was the thing. There was a point where it went inside Essendon's forward fifth. They kicked in there, and there were Collingwood players everywhere mopping up. I'm thinking, where are the Essendon players? I was sitting roughly on the wing, and then I realised, there's 5 of them sort of spreading across the centre. Probably, like, having watched Richmond, they were 5 seconds too late to be spreading across the centre. But I went, when this comes out from the Collingwood ball, they're not going to win it back anyway, despite all these numbers. And sure enough, Essendon probably had more numbers when the ball came out, but Collingwood got it back because the Essendon players still don't win the one-on-ones. They are worse than I thought, and I had them 9th on the ladder this year. They are not good at football.
They're not. And they can be competitive once every 3 weeks, whatever. They're not good at football. Whoever thought they were a top 4 side's fucking idiot.
Robbo.
Can you?
That's just getting sucked into some very false hype from last year.
They weren't good when they cheated. They're not going to be any better now.
But can we marginally segue, whilst we're on that game, to the non-leadership group player, because he doesn't want to be in the leadership group, but he still wants to issue directions, Brendan Goddard. That was some impressive fucking finger-pointing from the master.
You would call it impressive?
There was nobody he missed. There was no one he didn't point at.
It takes a lot of balls to point at everyone else when you're racking up junk disposals, 33 of them behind the ball.
But even Robbo said he was going to Zaharakis. He's just like, find somebody. Like, as in to man up or whatever. And then Zaharakis said back to him, it's like, you find somebody. Like, you're yelling at everyone else to do what you're not doing, mate.
That was my favourite part about those exchanges, was how often he went Zaharakis, and like it happened like 2 or 3 times where he would actually point at Zaharakis. Zaharakis, instead of just taking it, just went, no, fuck you. Basically mouthed off back at him. It was like Heath Shaw and Maxwell all over again.
But that just shows a complete lack of respect. When Maxwell would point, they'd listen.
Heath Shaw would argue, but it was more because of the ADHD thing.
Not Heath.
To the garter of space and grass.
So is Goddard. Yeah, he's just more talented.
Did you say Premiership captain, Dan? That's what I heard. They would listen to him. Even when Heath yelled at other players, they would listen to him because they respected him. They understood that the man had mental deficiencies, but they listened to him. No one listens to BJ. They go back at him like, shut the fuck up. That's why you can't be a leader, because no one respects you.
Maybe Goddard needs to wear the glove.
I think he might need more than that.
He needs to retire and just disappear.
Go and make his movie.
Well, it's not going to have a happy ending, though.
Oh, it depends on which perspective you're looking at. I'd say it's had a happy ending.
It's going to be one of these bittersweet anti-hero sort of films that get shown at Sundance. Do we have anything else on this game?
Brody Grundy is elite. He stayed down while Bellchambers rucked and then roved it and took possession. Like, the guy's a gun. Mason Cox was great today.
Oh my God. Okay. See, I'm all for this. This is pretty funny. So I sat in the MCC, obviously. I was not far from the bench. I'm all for a good footballer who's had a very good game getting the standing ovation applause when they come off the ground. But in the last quarter, Mason Cox came off the ground, and all around me, the Collingwood supporters are giving him the old clap. You could tell they were cheering him as he came off the ground. At first, I went, that can't be for Cox. And I look around and I go, no, it's not the guy coming on. It's like the guy coming on was fucking, can't even remember. But it was not someone, it wasn't Pendlebury's side bottom or fucking Treloar or anyone else who'd had a fantastic game. They were cheering for Cox coming off and thinking, oh, that's a bit rich. He kicked 2 goals. It's just like...
No, yeah. But for him, he played a really good game.
Are we setting the bar for that?
You know what? Maybe it's just being realistic. That's his ceiling. Shut up, Dan. Today he reached his ceiling, and we're going to applaud him for that. Well done. He's been getting Bronx cheers for the last 4 weeks. Give him a fucking break. This is the first time anybody cheered him without being sarcastic. Fucking 2018.
That is true, but I still think that's a little bit much. I think that's what you got to reserve for the guy. That's a top 6 player on the ground, or someone who's just done something fantastic, couple of efforts in a row, like Charlie Cameron kicking that goal.
He did reward the people on that side of the ground when after the game, when everyone gives out their footy or whatever, he walked back past the benches to give it to somebody in the crowd over there, whereas everyone else gave it to someone close to the race so they didn't have to walk so far. So it probably
Culture.
paid off for the one person clapping him.
Let's go to the closest game of the season thus far, St Kilda GWS, with the draw at the end.
Too much dust on the cokehead's fingers. That's why he dropped it.
It was
Because that was
sweat.
an uncontested mark.
It was sweat, and
No, it wasn't. He shit himself.
he fucking ran 15 Ks a game. All right, I'm giving him a break.
An uncontested mark. You got to mark it. He's a key position player. No excuses.
No, he's playing forward. He was
also
dropped
getting
it out of
decapitated.
protest. Carlisle doesn't like being forward. He just went, no, fuck this. I'm going to throw the game. So I don't play here next week.
There was more.
Would have
balls
been
thrown.
sick if he had punched it.
Hey, Carlisle's not that stupid. Yeah.
No, he's pretty
He
fucking
got caught. He got caught snorting coke on a video. He's pretty fucking stupid.
He's still not stupid enough to punch a ball. Well, when he needs to do it anyway. A decent game, actually. Last quarter was pretty fucking good.
I have no idea how you got back into that game. That looked pretty over.
Paddy kicked one. Ben Long
Patty Cakes.
kicked three. Something looked good ever since we pissed off Josh Bruce. Goal kicking was really bad, though, for this game. I mean, Cameron was damn near one of our better players. He was shanking left, right, and centre.
I'm actually surprised, Cookie. I thought your goo would be for Ben Long. There was a lot of goo on the St Kilda board for him.
I thought Cookie would be sooking over the umpires as tradition.
Free kick or not, doesn't really matter. We had chances to win. We didn't take it, but still.
That's so not St Kilda way of looking at it. You're like the anti-St Kilda support. You're like the outlier. You accept the umpire's decision without question.
In fairness, it happened on, like, fucking Saturday. It's like, man,
That's
it's already
true.
outrageous subsides. It's like closer to next week's game than last week's one.
Yeah, I don't even remember much about this game. Was like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. I only remember the Carlisle.
Yeah, we are closer to round 6 starting. Oh, I forgot to have other goo too for Joel Embiid.
Joel. Is his name Joel?
Yeah, it's not Joel, it's Joel.
Oh, so
No.
it's like Lionel.
Lionel, yeah.
Lionel, not
Like
Lionel. Lionel.
Yeah.
You sure you didn't say Jor-El?
Is this because he
Superman's
wore the
dad.
face mask?
No, because he picked up Kevin Hart like he was a child. Like, he lifted him up above his head like he was a little baby. and Kevin Hart giggled the whole time. It's really funny.
Oh, that's the funniest thing Kevin Hart's ever done.
No, when he couldn't get on stage at the Super Bowl was the funniest thing he's ever done. But he picked him up. It was so cute.
But yeah, do we have anything else out of the Saints-Giants game?
Nah.
No,
No.
not really. Bad luck. You should have won. You stuffed the guy that you're paying like $800K, the cokehead. Bad luck. $800K, Cookson. It's a lot of money for the poorest club in the AFL.
He's on 650K, thank you.
And who else are they going to pay, Dan? Who else are they going to give money to?
Oh, they could give some of it to the Hugh Goddard kid and give him the game.
They're pretty anonymous. Yeah, like who else are they going to give it to? Someone named Jack, I guess, but like that's pretty vague.
We'll still pay Nick Reward $1 million a year.
If Hugh Goddard's name was Jack, he'd be getting a game.
Jack Goddard, change your name, you'll get a game. Oh yeah, if we've got nothing else, then play on was the right call, though. I feel. Yeah.
It cost me. It cost me in my knockout competition. Somebody would have gone out if he had have taken that mark and scored. But
Yeah,
Not
that
to
wasn't
be.
even a free kick. He should have marked them. Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, like when you look at it with the angle, obviously it's a free kick, but from the side on, you don't see the arm. It's
No.
it's one of those ones where it's technically a free kick, but if the umpire paid that, it's clearly not because he saw it, because there's no way you can see it from the angle that's there, the side on where the umpire was. Anyway, let's go to Adelaide responded to fucking. Could you imagine if you picked Sydney as your knockout tip this week?
Ooh.
well, 3 people did, so they got knocked out.
How furious would you be?
Yeah.
And this is up there for upsets over the last couple of years. Like, and we've had some doozies.
Adelaide had absolutely no right having any chance say in that game.
No.
What an absolute capitulation by a shit club.
And
Dan
she's not even talking about the dogs.
I'm not even talking about the dogs.
That'll come later.
Well, text responded from Kane Corns, apparently, or Kerry, or whoever the fuck.
Nobody takes their guidance from Kane Corns. Nobody goes, oh shit, Kane Corns has whacked me. I better come out and perform this week. Nobody says that because, like, yeah, he's a Corns. We know what Dan thinks of them.
Yeah, they're wankers.
But what were you saying about Hanbury Cookie?
He looks cooked. Like, his grimacing has become more grimacy, but he looks slow, fat, and uninterested. He needs some cocaine. I'll get him going again.
Is he already ruled out?
For next week?
Hanbury? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know. I know Buddy's out.
Yeah, I'm sure Buddy and Hanbury are both out already.
Yeah. Oh, they're out. They're out for the weekend.
Yeah, they've got a boys' night.
Watch out, commuters of Sydney.
Watch out, people in Bondi.
Your parked cars are in
Don't park
danger.
your car.
No, they were pretty ordinary though. The Crows were good, but as good as they were on talent, Sydney should be able to stand up above that. You'd think.
Oh, there's no way they would have beaten 10 teams playing on Friday night. Sydney just put in an absolute stinker.
But they are so one-dimensional. They it's Buddy or bust forward or centre for them. Really, they got a few bit part players, but no one who's actually going to keep them in the game.
No one that's going to do it week in, week out.
No, if Buddy doesn't kick their goals, they're more often than not going to kick a score that'll hurt you. And
is Sam Reid playing? I don't even know. Is he dead again?
Oh, I don't know. I think he might have, but he's still not very good at football, whether he's playing or not. Like all the talent in that family went to the one brother,
and that's not a whole lot.
No, not anymore.
Jesus, both of them fell off the cliff very quickly. Fuck. Like they've got a lot of talented kids, Sydney, but not any that are breaking down the doors to be fucking all Australians or anything like that. Like I like that Ollie Florent kid, and Heaney pops up every now and again. He's all right, but they're not groundbreaking.
They're very similar in a way to what I was saying about Essendon. You got these guys that, yeah, they get some good ball, and they sort of look okay when they get it, and they look like they can play football, but when you really go, oh, who's carving us up? You don't talk about these guys. You don't go, oh, that guy's hurt us. You don't go, oh, Heaney's hurt us. You say that about Kennedy.
Stop one of their players and you've shut the whole thing down.
Anything else?
No.
Again, this game was on Friday 2 weeks ago, so... Although I did surprisingly tip Adelaide.
What?
I tipped Adelaide.
Actually...
What? No, what? Hang on. No way. How?
I did. I got 8, not including the draw, on this round. On that stupid tipping competition where tipping the margin carries more weight than tipping the actual winner of the game.
I got Adelaide right too.
I know it turned out right in the end, but what possessed you to do that, considering everything that was stacking up?
I didn't put my tips in.
No, I picked Adelaide. I just went for an upset.
Yeah, because Dan's an idiot, but I just didn't put my tips in. And then I was like, this is sick.
Right.
And then, I'm in a tipping competition with, Marto, Alfred, Vesti, and Zan and some other people. And they're all going, how come you tipped Adelaide? And I was like, I'm just elite at tipping, guys. Just forgot to put me tip in.
Can someone explain to me what that yellow hat means in that comp?
No.
I don't know.
Fucking click on it.
It's
Maybe
hard
it'll
to
tell you.
navigate through. Anyways, it's so stupid. Whatever possessed fucking Appleyard to think that was...
We'll never know.
Next game, we'll go to Hawthorn, who were junk.
You lost to North. What's wrong with you? The team that played the Brisbane Lions for the Spoon last year.
Has the wind come out of Hawthorn? Can we officially say that now? The fucking goo can finally subside. After the first 2 games they lost to us.
It's not the world's fastest rebuild, whatever the fuck they're saying.
No, it's over.
When a team loses, I like to go and read their match day thread from the start on the team board. When they lose unexpectedly, because it's amusing to see what they predict. And then, they're all we'll flog them, blah, 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 blah. And then one guy's like, we're not going to win a flag if we play like this. I'm like, you don't win defending the flag, you fucking idiot. They actually think that. They actually think that there are flag champs. I'm just
In their
perplexed.
defense, when you've been as dominant as they have, you probably tend to think that way every year if your team's won all these flags.
They aren't. I'm sorry. I know that Jared Roughhead had cancer, and that was really sad. But he is shit at football.
Oh,
He
Of all the
bad.
ones you could have picked out from that game.
No, Starburns. I was there. He is slow. He doesn't make a contest anymore. He doesn't get to enough contests. He was bad. And
he didn't have a good game, but I wouldn't say
No, he didn't have a good game, but
he was a great footballer. No, from what his best is, his worst was last week, and it was so bad. I think Ruffy needs to seriously consider his options. But anyway, Bruce was good for Hawthorn. That's about it.
I thought Smith was all right for him, but other than that, there weren't too many. Whereas for North, it was... Well, Higgins was okay before he got concussed. Brown, obviously, did all the damage when the game was on. Potenge is playing the best football he's ever played.
Brad was right. Brad was absolutely right.
he's starting to. Yeah, I think Brad might be onto something here. He's best footballer.
Billy Hartong's decent.
A couple more good games, and I think Mr. Waite can put his mailman hat back on.
The mailman hat's coming out again.
Mate, I wonder if the mailman hat is the yellow hat.
Because you deliver.
Nice trolling, Super Brew. Did Plugger make up that name? What a fucking joke.
Super Brew.
Yeah, what does that even mean? Super brew. Sounds like some stupid New Zealand thing.
Oh, do you want to have some super brew?
Oh, just get a Super Brew from the chili bin.
That's what they will change New Zealand's name to when the time comes. Super Brew.
The chili bin. No, take it to the chili bin.
Super Brew.
Yeah, Ben Brown, amazing. Amazing in the first half. Didn't do a lot in the second. But
Didn't need to. Game was dead.
Jed Anderson and Billy Hartung really had a great game. In your face, Hawthorn.
And they seem pretty happy too.
Yeah, they haven't cracked the sads and they've decided to play well. Anderson, he might actually go past Ryan Burton. I actually gave up on Anderson, but he might actually.
The best thing Ryan Burton did was concuss somebody.
Ooh.
It was. He didn't do anything else that was good. That was the only contest he won. How he's playing next week, I've got no idea.
That's it. Yeah, that's an odd one. He should be getting the week.
Maybe the punishment is that he plays, because at the moment he's in the Wiedering category, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing how Penal's not here to defend him. What a front-running squib Penal is these days. He's moved to Super Brew, so he didn't have to fucking defend him.
Trader, defector, egg inserter.
Egg inserter.
Oh, was there anything else out of I feel there was more out of that game, but it was so long ago. Like, even Sunday feels like a while ago now.
Yes, it does.
James Sicily is a fucking maggot.
Yes, he is. He's a disgrace.
It's a shit act by a shit player who needs a massive punch in the face.
Oh, like, there's a couple of things on that, though. The idea that it's a stomp, I would say, is not true, because he doesn't actually forcefully stand on him, but it's clearly a deliberate act. Like, he's looking where he's walking, and he goes, oh, there's his leg. And instead of stepping over it, he goes, I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to trot on your foot or your ankle.
There's no excuse for it. It's a dog act.
It's a dog act. He should have got more than one. That's fucking bullshit.
You know what? As much as you might howl me down, a bump in play where a ball is near it, whether it is well executed or not, and there is head contact, is not worse than somebody deliberately looking at somebody and standing on them.
Well, you're not going to cuss anyone by standing on them.
But it is a dog act.
Yeah, no, like, okay, you're right in the sense that if James Sicily only gets 1 week, what is to stop someone else doing the same thing again?
Why would you ever need to hit somebody when you can just stand on them for a week?
Yeah, exactly. Like a week for standing on someone's ankle.
Who is defenseless, laying on their front, can't even see you. You fucking coward. Nothing but a coward. If he was looking at him, would he have done it? No.
Ryan Crowley had it wrong all along. You just got to stand on their ankle.
And he had to go like he was being worked on the bench because of it. So that counts as an injury.
I'm not just crying foul on the stepping on the foot. I mean, he's done so many stupid little things that go beyond being an aggressive player or someone who dances on the line. This guy is just a maggot.
He's chasing the Cam Mooney record.
To be a professional footballer. Your occupation is to be a footballer, not to be an annoying shithead who does annoying little things, you know?
He's chasing Cam Mooney's record for most suspensions a year. He's around 5. He's already got 2, so he's halfway there.
And he's going to be painted a bigger target on his head now because people are going to go after him, and he has to try and show.
It's not like he didn't already have a punchable enough head. But it doesn't even matter if the guy gets treatment on the leg because it doesn't matter if he gets up and runs away. He clearly, there's no accident there. He knows where the leg is and he stands on it anyway because, well, fuck you, basically, to Atlee or whoever it was.
I'm James Sicily and I'm going to stand on the leg.
Let's go to...
Last night.
Okay, last night then.
It was a kind of a very poor game for the first half, at least in my mind, but Richmond just ran away with it because they're better than Melbourne.
Yeah,
it was really boring.
We are in this habit of kicking 15 goals a game in probably most of our last 10 games. 15 a game, 5 in the first half, 10 in the second. And
bit of rope-a-dope.
Yeah, just basically let them tire themselves out, beat them into submission in the first half, and then ski all over them. It's just the pattern. Apart from the Brisbane game, that is our pattern at the moment. Because Brisbane were too easy to kill, but everybody else, it's just fucking, yeah, that's basically how it's played out. And much the same, Melbourne couldn't keep up with it as the longer the game went on. And they're so easy to score against too. Like, I think we kicked 6 straight at some point, which happens every week to them. But I got nothing much on it.
I've got something. I had the strangest encounter last night at quarter time with an ex-AFL footballer that I've ever had. I was in the lift going up from having a smoke, and a few people got in the lift, and then a few more did. We had to hold it. And Andrew Leoncelli gets in the lift.
You recognised Andrew Leoncelli?
Andrew Leoncelli has not changed one day since he stopped playing. If you saw him, you would recognise him too. And he's wearing a Melbourne tie. Whatever. I knew who it was.
Is that sort of half Oriental looking guy that is?
Yeah.
Half Oriental.
He sort of looks like...
Why do you always say Oriental?
Well, he's got that sort of look about him. Where
Yeah.
Almost looks Chinese, but he isn't.
He has small eyes.
That's it. That's what gives it away. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, you know him when you see him because he's got tiny little eyeballs. Other people were in the lift as well, and then they go, oh, there's a Carlton supporter in the lift. And they're referring to me. And I had a Collingwood netball scarf on, and I'm like, I'm a Collingwood supporter. And then this guy, high-fives me. He's like, yeah, me too. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. Let's just get in the lift and go. And then Andrew Leoncelli puts his arm around me, hugs me, and goes, but you've got your own teeth, and proceeds to tap my teeth with his finger. His finger was in my mouth. And I was like, why are you doing this?
That's assault.
That's weird.
He's going like this. I don't know if you can hear it. He's going.
That is some weird shit.
I got back up to my seat. I'm like, you will not believe what just happened to me.
Do you need counselling after that?
Like, Andrew Leoncelli just touched my teeth. and all Anel could say is, how did you know it was Andrew Leoncelli?
But that's what I'm thinking. I still don't get how you recognise him because I can't remember what he looked like back then.
Well, Dan did. Tiny eyes.
Yes, no. Tapping on his teeth.
No, my teeth. He was tapping my teeth.
Your teeth. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you going to follow up on this?
No, but I just thought it was weird, and I saved it to share here.
Technically, that's assault. You can't do that.
Well, I didn't feel assaulted. I just thought it was funny.
So weird.
Not everybody is a victim, Dan.
Tell the courts your front teeth got chipped.
Anyway, that was the highlight of my night last night.
Jeez.
That's just weird. Like if you honestly tried to crack on you or something or whatever, yeah, that makes sense. But the guy who's trying to touch, well, he did. He touched your teeth.
I can't imagine a situation where that would be okay to touch anyone's teeth.
Why? Well, one, that's never okay, and why would anyone want to do it? It's just. I get the whole Collingwood joke, you know, oh, you've got your teeth or you don't have your teeth, but then to go and touch said person's teeth.
Said stranger in an elevator with 8 other people, and he's got his arm around me touching my teeth.
What did he think was going to happen? He was going to knock out your fakies.
I don't know. He was like just checking them all, I guess.
Did you brush your teeth straight afterwards?
Well, no, I didn't carry a toothbrush to the football, Dan.
Well, I mean, you don't know where his fingers have been.
You're right, I don't.
Yeah, now, good on you, Dan.
You should probably go see your local GP and get some tests done.
Get a tetanus shot.
Yeah, maybe.
I have to go for a scaling and a clean now. Anyway, that was my story.
Does this guy have Twitter or Instagram? I'm going to hit him up.
He doesn't seem to have a Twitter account.
I looked on Instagram and Twitter, and I can't find him.
But he's a property market, he's in property market network event with special guest Andrew Leoncelli.
Does he have all his teeth?
Yeah, he's got a real set of chompers.
Do we have anything else out of this game?
No.
No, I was really off put by quarter time. I didn't really care about it from then on.
Melbourne are everything we've said about Melbourne. We
didn't even need this year to be able to tell us that, because Melbourne do what Melbourne do, and it's just rinse and repeat.
Melbourne are basically like Richmond in a way that the world will never change their opinion until they actually get to the final stage. Melbourne are going to be failures until they ever win a flag. No one's ever going to believe in them, because we're always going to be waiting for it just to revert to type, I think. Because this is the pattern, and it's been the pattern for too long. And until you break it, no one's going to believe it. Let's just go to the second closest game of the round, which was the Q Clash. Did anyone else watch this game? This was a reasonably entertaining game right after North versus Hawthorn finished.
Yeah.
No. Dan was still getting a bus home. And...
No, you're probably right. Assholes.
What did you say?
Assholes. No, I seen the end of it, but...
What about Dane Zorko doing the old Brock McLean, but at the end of the game? Did we see this?
No, what did he do?
Refused to shake the hand of Ashcroft medalist Took Miller, who kept him quiet all game.
Oh, God.
It's just like, are you that butthurt over losing to the Suns that you can't shake a guy's hand at the end of the game? Like, what did he do to you that was so bad?
That's really poor.
For a guy who is probably used to losing by now.
Isn't he the captain?
Nah, Beams is.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, still.
For a senior player, that was pretty poor. Brisbane came at them from nowhere. It was actually quite a fun game to watch the end of. It's two teams that can't defend playing each other, so the scoring was actually fairly free. But towards the end, once the skill level sort of picked up, but yeah, I thought that was poor from Zorko.
It's a bit of a no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, no.
Okay, but it's funny that Brisbane lost, but not because we're their rivals, just because it's funny that they lost.
Yes, because it's funny that they lost to their biggest rivals, really.
To their only rival. It's funny they lost to their only rival when their only rival dropped actual decent
the Boganator.
The Boganator. I hope he comes back
the Anus Cat. Or the Anus Sun.
Oh. Yeah.
Because, that's Brisbane. You're right. That's Brisbane's only rival, despite what people might say on the main board.
Or in the Flogcast PM. You idiot paddles.
Let's go to Port, brought back to earth. Geez, that 3-zip starts looking really good right now.
There's no way they'll be 10-2. They'll be lucky to get over North this week.
Where's Tom? He is the real 800k man. That's what they are paying him. The guy's averaging 9 disposals in over 4 weeks.
I love how every single leopard that came to Port did not change their spots. Rockcliffe, still crap. Watts, still P-Hart. Motlop, still fat and lazy.
Thomas, still suspended.
There you go. Still sniping, cunt. Yeah, you're right. They recruited all these guys thinking, don't worry, we'll fix them, and they're all exactly the same. In fact, in some cases, you might even argue they're worse. Yeah, no, they were horrendously disappointing, because Geelong were missing Gazza and Harry Taylor and a few others, and it's not like they're that great anyway. Like, did the B graders step up again, or was it danger? I didn't see this game.
I think it was the B graders were good again.
The support cast beat Port, so there you go.
Did he? This game was so long ago. I had no fucking idea.
Apparently Blixarves is pretty shit again playing down back, but...
He's fucking terrible. Just genuine terrible.
And the fact that he looks like He-Man doesn't help.
He's before his time, don't worry. He's the prototype, he's just before his time.
Dangerfield had 28, Selwood had 29.
And a choke.
Hall and Smith, I think, was good.
Jeez, that's a fucking worry.
Yeah, Parfait had 23. Parfait. Scott Selwood didn't do much. Don't know why. Just going on possessions.
He got ironed out, didn't he?
He got decapitated.
That's unfortunate.
And Chris Scott got abused by Port fans.
Well, he should be grateful they didn't punch on with him. They should have been very grateful. All he got was just some nasty words. Hope he didn't react like Dimmer.
They were calling him Brad. He gets it a lot, apparently.
It's just they were calling him Brad. The best troll there is. Call him Brad.
You'd be offended by that. Like, hey, Dan, how would you feel? How would you feel if we started calling you Dan 26?
I'd rather you not.
Essendon are the best flag team ever, man.
Yeah.
Remember how you said that?
Yeah, and how we should get rid of Test cricket as well. And what else did he say? That the prequel Star Wars movies were the best?
Yes, the prequel Star Wars were the best, and that the final should be a straight knockout.
And people do confuse me with that fucking imbecile.
Can I just request a backfire tag on Geelong Dynasty's thread?
What was it?
Well, it's now when Collingwood are 3-5, blah blah blah. But before it was when Collingwood.
Oh, he's not gone and done a plugger in the Ross Lions thread, but he changed it from Waters to Richardson.
Yeah, so he's changed it from 1-5 to 3-5 on whatever. It was when Collingwood are 1-6. Now it's when Collingwood are 3-5, and he's changed the OP because he's a big fucking fat coward loser.
Yes, I think we should investigate that one.
Edited now to 3-5. Hilarious. What a big cocksucker you are, Geelong Dynasty.
Cookie?
Yeah.
Tell us more about the Port players punching on.
I was Port fans.
Oh, sorry, Port fan. Yeah, my bad.
Well, I know some of them bought some tickets to the rich section of Adelaide Oval. I would assume one of them was talking about...
The rich section of Adelaide Oval. Is that like having the nice jail cell?
The nice
one
barrel.
with the view.
The barrel with the view.
It's kind of like their version of the Medallion Club, but not really.
It's basically like what Bender told us about the old Subiaco, where you have the cubicle, but it's got the door doesn't lock, but at least it closes.
I'd assume there was some talk about Koshi. He's probably quite divisive there, and I think a pro-Koshi guy beat a anti-Koshi guy.
They were probably arguing over Sam Powell-Pepper, whether he should have been
arrested
for tapping that woman's teeth.
I wish Andrew Lee and Shelley had Twitter.
Do we have anything else on this game?
That game have a streaker on the ground?
And they showed him on the TV.
Yeah.
If you are going to do that, do it properly and get your full gear off and run on the ground. Don't go half-hearted with just your shirt.
I thought it was just Charlie Dixon without his top. He had a big fucking beard going. Or Westhoff even.
Westhoff still looks like he hasn't gained weight, which is impressive because he's been in for like God knows how long.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him. Like, you know, I think Paddy McCartan wished he never gained weight, but...
Oh, Paddy Cakes. No, Paddy Cakes has turned a corner. Into the drive-through, big fat guy.
He couldn't have driven. His car was nicked, remember?
Yeah. And then he got home to find his house had been broken into.
The St Kilda fans have not taken those recent results that well.
What a really shit day. That's funny.
Charlie,
That's funny. He had his house broken into and his car stolen, and it's very funny.
Oh, it is a bit.
Let's go to well and truly into the two games that don't matter for the round. The Dogs are very shit. Very, very shit. Losing like that to you let Fremantle do that to you. Ross Lyons, Fremantle, you are bad. You are so bad.
Oh, what a piece of shit football club they are.
I just don't understand it that you could win a premiership and let things fall apart so drastically, so quickly like that. Like, have some fucking pride, because it might be another 62 years till you're even close again.
Hope it is. Hope it's more.
Eagles finally notched a win at the G. It was only against Carlton, but...
I think the West Coast Eagles fans, they're having a bitch about Eddie's commentary all fucking game or something.
Yes, I did see that. Apparently Eddie was cheerleading Carlton. Would you believe?
Oh, he was. No, I'm serious. He really was. It was painful. As somebody who hates Carlton, I don't want to hear them talked up. I don't want to hear fucking you goo chug them, and he was. It was like overcompensating. It was sickening.
It's like how Dunstall overcompensates his Hawthorn bias by being overly critical.
Yes. It was terrible.
That's bad. No, you don't need to pump Carlton up. Because they don't do enough things to make you want to pump them up anyway. It just seems forced.
Yeah, it was just rubbish.
Can't have a forced pumping, yeah, can you?
It's hard to tell on West Coast, but I think they might be okay.
They'll probably finish either somewhere in the bottom half of the 8, and they'll probably go out in the second week.
I don't know, man. I reckon the way it's going, if Nat Nui stays fit, Kennedy's back, obviously. Some of their other important pieces stay fit. I don't know if I can't see why they wouldn't finish top 4, because that is ripe for the picking at the moment. And they will win enough games at home, you would think, to do it, because they do have 12 there. Speaking of games West Coast play at home, they're at home next week. I'm not sure if it's a home game or an away game, but because the Derby is on, and we move on to our talking points. Don't have many this week, but is this the saddest thing ever from Fremantle? The Ross Glendenning medal will not be awarded this week this year because Fremantle wanted to acknowledge both clubs, not just theirs.
Oh, how petty. How very, very petty.
If Fremantle had a champion, I'm sure that would be okay, but they just don't.
Well, they have Clive.
They do have Clive, yes. Glendenning and Waterhouse, yeah.
Or they can have, reward the inflatable anchor.
But, Collingwood play when they play an away game against Carlton, they play for a cup that's named after convicted crook from Carlton.
Yeah, the ex-president who is a massive shit cunt, and we still play for his cup that he paid for and accept it happily off fucking Grug Pratt. So...
See, right up until that last sentence, that could have been 3 Carlton presidents. But,
Yeah, well, exactly right. Pick. No. How petty? Who cares what it's called? You fucking probably won't win it anyway.
Australia played the West Indies for the Frank Worrell Trophy. Who the fuck's Frank Worrell? He's not an Australian. Give you the tip. I don't know.
It's Freo insecurity.
What are they going to
we can't win a flag, so there's nothing to claim. So we may as well claim the name of the trophy at least. They don't want anything West Coast in their trophy cabinet.
Be grateful you've got anything in your trophy cabinet, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be knocking back any kind of silverware when it's empty.
No, because you don't want a lonely trophy cabinet like St Kilda.
That's not really a cabinet.
Have a room.
You should get a cabinet. You should get a cabinet.
A trophy dungeon, really.
Is there no medal this week, or are they going to rename it?
No, they're not giving one.
There's no medal, there's no trophy, and Freo tried to pass it off as a sponsorship thing before West Coast basically threw him under the bus and said, that's not true. Freo don't want it because it's named after Glendenning.
Why is it their call to get rid of the idea of having the medal in the first place?
I guess because there's 2 teams playing, but West Coast are going to award it anyway. So now there's another medal Freo players can't win. because the Ross Glendenning medal goes back years, so it's always going to be awarded. And if West Coast keep awarding it, then no Freo players are going to win it.
At least before they had a chance.
Yeah, and it's like you just cut your trophy chances.
Maybe they could call it the Vern Troyer medal. He probably looks purple right about now.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
I do not have anything else added on this.
No, nothing else. Nothing further, Your Honour.
Yeah, I have nothing more constructive or logical to say about this matter.
Grow up, Freo. You've been around 23 years. You should be past this shit by now. If it was good enough for that long, it should be good enough still. The other talking point is the Sam Powell-Pepper saga continues
Sam
on.
Palpenis.
Sam
Sam Palpenis did an Andrew Lee and Charlie and touched someone inappropriately when they didn't ask for it.
And now Koshy's getting all fucking brave about, the AFL aren't closing the investigation. They're saying they can't pick him and all this other bullshit. And Koshy's talking a big talk. Like, know your place, you dickhead. It is very odd, though, that this hasn't closed. Like, most investigations, there is a resolution by now. So, do we think there's more here?
What kind of organisation think that they have a right to hold off accepting what the punishment is? Like, doesn't fucking matter what you think, Port Adelaide.
Reminds me of that Essendon poster who said, "What's to stop the players running out there if they do get banned?" Just like,
that's probably what Koshy was saying. Well, what are you gonna do if we do play him?
what's to stop Powell-Pepper if he does stick his hand where it shouldn't go?
Well, exactly right. Nothing. So that's why he's not allowed to play for 3 weeks. Teach him a lesson.
Clearly, it's a cultural thing. Powell-Pepper's just following the other club cultural line. It's like, no does not mean no.
Hands up skirt equals don't play football. Simple.
It was down skirt, wasn't it? It was a down skirt.
How do you down skirt somebody?
We've sort of discussed, I think the skirt's got to be separate, doesn't it?
It wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
Could have said a lot of hassle and just touched her teeth.
Maybe he doesn't have
Yeah.
a teeth fetish like Lee and Charlie, though.
No.
He's got decent chompers too. Don't know why he was touching mine.
Clearly, teeth are his thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, this is a very interesting thing because most investigations do get wrapped up by now, one way or the other. The AFL either says, we looked into it, we found nothing, or they come down. And it's just like, this is like this weird holding pattern where they're like, it's almost like they're waiting on new information. They know there's something out there, so they're not prepared to.
Yeah, and like Port Adelaide, they're like, there's nothing that we've seen, all the footage, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing that we can see. Like, we can't see what they see, pretty much. So, there's something very weird happening.
There is, and it's all weird because she didn't go to the cops either. It's just, so many levels here. Like, what the fuck's going on? Are there bodies buried in barrels here somewhere? Like,
there's some kind of weird cover-up happening.
Yeah, it's just
and
something.
I don't know why, and maybe it'll never come out, but there is something else to do with this.
Maybe she's been paid off with Chinese hush money. I don't know. That's the best I can think of. And the AFL aren't buying it.
I'm not sure.
Very, very strange.
I would love to know what the situation really is.
Yes, and I wonder whether we'll ever get any solution, because clearly, like, this is the worst thing about it from Koshy's perspective. It wasn't going away, but now Koshy's come out and basically said that as far as they're concerned, it's over. So he's put this out there as though this is this big thing, which all of a sudden turns it into a question of, oh, the investigation's over, but the AFL's not saying it's over. I guess he's done something, like, you assume guilt in this situation, don't you, or a level of guilt, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Koshy putting it on the table is shifting guilt onto Powell-Pepper. This guy's an idiot who doesn't know when to shut his mouth.
No, not where his players, not his players, the players of his club. are concerned. He doesn't know when to shut his mouth.
No.
I bet you he gave him a real big talking to as well. Koshy.
Didn't show enough heart.
Because, yeah, he showed a bit too much of something.
Too much balls.
Too much balls. Let's go to the questions. Begin with Not Cookie, who asked, if you had to be one of the worst players in the AFL, who would you be and why?
Max Hudson.
Max Hudson.
Why?
Did you have that prepared?
No.
Max Hutchins was a good player, though. Well, that's weird.
Think about it.
Crying?
Bingo.
Yeah, but I thought you'd go for Tom Boyd just so you can be sad as fuck and get a shitload of money too.
See, I was. Now that you've said that, I was going to say Boyd because you get paid a lot of money and you play one good game in your career, and that would be enough to coast off forever. But now that you've said that, I think I'll say Andrew Lee and Shelley because you can get away with anything.
Who touches teeth? I mean, why? Honestly.
I don't know. I've been asking myself the same question. Over 24 hours now. Why would
Maybe
he
he's a
touch my
dentist.
teeth? No, he's not. He's in property management.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, right. It was very odd.
What if he has AIDS?
Well, then so have I.
I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, that can not make the cut.
You've said AIDS 3 times tonight.
Yeah, you have actually.
Have I?
Yeah, you said something was gay as AIDS, and then
Yeah, but I wasn't referring to somebody though.
you're referring to gay people. Or you're referring to Hawthorn supporters.
Oh.
And now you just told me I got AIDS.
You just diagnosed her like Cookie diagnosed you.
Like I said, you don't know where those fingers have been.
You can't get
Well, yeah,
AIDS
I do.
from
They've been
fingers.
on my teeth.
Yeah, I mean before that though.
You need to Google how AIDS is contracted. It doesn't come from fucking fingers on teeth, man.
Well, if he's got, he might have cuts on his fingers.
I didn't have cuts in my mouth.
It's not bleeding gums, Morgs.
Whatever, Dan, I don't have AIDS.
All right.
Next question. No, sorry. Morgs and Cookie didn't really answer. So, what footballers other than Max Hudson and
Yeah, I
Andrew
picked
Lee
the
Challenge?
guy that was known for crying after the game, and it was on television, and everyone saw
You've
it.
answered already.
Okay, sorry.
I'd be Mo Hope.
I already said Tom Boyd.
Okay.
Under deliver and get overpaid.
Gornage wants to know, I don't know if this will get us any good answers, but I'll ask it anyway. Has Anzac Eve overtaken Anzac Day as the round's marquee fixture?
Absolutely not. Probably should have asked that after the game. and given the fact that the attendances were not near each other, then
Yeah, that was very, very disappointing of all those Melbourne supporters who didn't show up to their home game, but I guess it's not surprising.
I thought it would be like a struggle to get a seat, but nope. You just
No,
walk
it was,
in, and I sat in the first row of general admission seating, and there was seats everywhere.
Bosk wants to know, Cameron Ling called the Lindsay Thomas bump a dog act, effectively labelling Lindsay a dog. Does that make Cameron Ling a racist? And in follow-up, Smeghead has asked, can you only be considered racist if you have a soul?
I just think that Cameron Ling's a fucking wanker. Like, when your opinion is so completely biased by the fact that you played for him, just shut up. You're a fucking idiot.
I think it was nice to see Cameron Ling jump off the fence because he's clearly had a fence post up his ass for about 5 years.
Oh, and all the Geelong posters who are like, oh, you must have missed it. He's now a Hawthorn. Blah, 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 blah. You're a bunch of wankers. The PM must have gone out. Quick, distance yourself from Lingy. Make this a Hawthorn problem.
Can he have an opinion if he doesn't have a soul?
No, he can't be a racist. He can have an opinion if he doesn't have a soul, but he can't be a racist.
Yes.
If gingers get a free pass at anything, it's that they can't be accused of being a racist. Because
Gingers are a race?
Because gingers, well, no, I'm not saying they're a race, but gingers generally cop more shit than black people in this country. You know that's true.
Oh, the historical prejudice against gingers.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
thing.
there's Ranger Day. There's not
I've
Nigger
known
Day.
people at primary school and at high school that had to change schools because they were bullied so much because
all
of their
those-
red hair.
All
and
those gingers who
white
fried out in the cotton fields.
Oh my God, Dan, you're such a ranger. I'm convinced Dan's a ranger. How passionate is he?
Listen, if you think I'm a ranger, then by all means keep believing that, because you'll never find me. Keep playing Where's Dan at the footy Waldo.
I do. I play it every week. You should have seen the guy I thought was you this week.
Did he have a banana on the ground as well?
Nah, he had the biggest beard and red hair. But it was before the game, so now I know it wasn't you.
Dan, would you like to revise your previous statement?
What, regarding gingers and their free pass?
Ginger's pee.
The poor kid had to change schools. It's like historical slavery has nothing in comparison.
The overpopulation of how
this country, not this bloody.
Well, our country. What about the overrepresentation of Indigenous Australians in prison compared to white Australians? Nope.
All the rangers,
raw deal.
They got sent off to ranger school.
Listen.
All the rangers weren't allowed to play when there was no play.
Now, you guys are just taking it too far. I'm just saying, from my experience at school, gingers copped it more than black.
Where do they rank compared to, say, the Jews, Dan?
No,
or the Asians. What about the Asians like Andrew Lee and Shelley? You know, very traditional Asian name, Lee and Shelley.
You guys are now trying to compare this to all this historical, terrible things. That's not what I was doing. That's all.
That's what you said.
That's not me. If you guys want to compare this to slavery, to the Holocaust, that's on you. I'm saying, like at school and shit. And you guys think that's still a reach?
You don't think the kid with the darker skin copped a rough time in school compared to the kid with the lighter skin and the red hair?
You just cop it up in this country.
No way! The Indian kid at my school copped it so much worse. He used to have his hair up all the time, and we used to walk past him and go, "Hey, Manu, what's with the do?" No, the rangers copped that.
That said, none of these cop it as bad as the short and fat kids at LW school.
That was great, Dan.
No, that was all you. It wasn't barely me at all.
No, but you got the ball rolling.
Yeah, that's what I seem to do. I get the ball rolling, and you guys just pump it up with steroids and shit and keep going with it.
I think it was waiting for it. It was basically an Essendon player. Just walking in. You signed all the consent forms.
You guys have all seen it at some point. The gingers just cop it. It's the way it
That's
is.
not the point. That's not what we're debating.
It's part of.
In fact, you said they cop it the worst in this country more than the black people.
At school, they did.
I'm going to tag always balling in this thread, and we'll see what it has to say. Fuck.
What's the next question?
Let's compare it to the Holocaust and the Aboriginal kids that got stolen from their homes and shit. That's what
you just did. The Aboriginal kids.
I'm talking about school. I'm not talking about all
Funny.
Next question is, Ilksy wants to know, if you were going to steal something from the Collingwood shop, what would you steal?
Eddie's erectile dysfunction pills.
Why would he keep him in the shop? Trust me, if you were going to come and steal anything from our club, before you get to the shop, you could walk past the 15 cups, and I'm sure you'd want to help yourself to one.
But the question was, if you could steal anything, like, I think he's implying that you could get away with it. So what would you take if you could get away with it?
I'd take all the Pendlebury jumpers and put them in the bin.
I was going to say gym memberships to Pendlebury's gym. Ilksy also wants to know, what do you think of those snivelling Collingwood supporters who are now trying to board the Bucks bandwagon? Disgraceful behaviour, as far as he's concerned.
What a sickening bunch of flogs they are, Ilksy. Imagine being one of them.
Can you name them?
Ilksy.
Ooh.
Ilksy's the worst one. That's why he asked the question. He's getting on the front foot. He was the first person who asked to board the bandwagon. And Jasny, fuck off. It's my bandwagon. I'm the only person. Only person
You can't
who
cuck
believed.
the bucks.
You know,
Jasny
I'm the
coined that.
only person who believed. She jumped off Coach Buckley not even that long ago. I have stuck fat. I am at the front of the bus and I'm letting everybody on, but I'm giving them shit on the way past. So, on you come. But this Magpie NATO and Magpie Monopoly and all you flogs, where'd you come from?
They were always on board, clearly.
Yeah,
they were on board
always on
when
board.
Jasny started the wagon.
Yeah, they were... shut up. Always on board. They were always Bay posters.
Were they in the black thread or the white thread?
They were in the fucking black thread. Get out.
The thread that wasn't as hard as the red thread, Dan.
Next question.
That's all. Let's go to this week on the Bay. Red of the week, what do we got?
The Hawthorn rebuild one by Craffles.
Liked that. I'm going to reach around here and say give Dan a nom for Where's Tom, which I think was started slightly after we came on last week, which is a long time ago now that I think about it.
Oh, yeah, I even had some poor people come in. Oh, but he injured himself in the first quarter. And I was like, well, what the fuck was he doing the first 3 weeks of the season? Paying this guy $800K to play hide and seek.
I did like that thread.
Why? Because you copped such a beating with the Where's Trent thread?
No. I liked the idea of just that a good Photoshop thread's good fun. I also liked Ilksy's name a more iconic duo. I'll wait.
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah,
those two Craffles. The meltdown thread from was it established 1997 or was it Beats? I always get those two confused.
Beats off.
The give Geelong. Oh, congratulations.
No, I think it was
Geelong.
established.
Established
1997. No, I'm going with Crackles because I thought that was really
Cookson,
funny.
what do you got?
I did like Dan's thread, and I did like Ilksy's thread, so I'll give it to Ilksy.
If I'm not going to get 100 MVP points, it sounds like I'm going to get a consolation prize.
Fucking hang on. Yes. Had we missed that?
Don't make it sound like we're not giving them to you. You didn't fucking earn them.
Yeah, had we actually missed the fact that I don't think we've really gone into any proper detail about the fact that Jake Stringer only got 20% of the way to his target today.
What do you mean he failed? Like he was expected to kick 10 or something.
According to you.
Yeah, because that was my bold prediction, right? It's not like any of your bold predictions are going to come through, are they?
Yes, I said St Kilda, Melbourne and the Bulldogs will miss the 8. And they're currently sitting like 15th, 16th and 17th.
I'm still backing Nathan Freeman in for a Norm Smith.
Only one of you's going to be right. Gaz is still a chance to retire before the year's out. I'm okay with that. But my point being is, with every passing week, Dan, you started pumping up the tyres of Jake Stringer kicking 10 goals.
Well, no, technically not, because Cookson sort of instigated this thing by adding the whole...
Here we go. Old no responsibility, Dan.
That's someone else's fault.
Hey, the whole 100 MVP points wasn't my idea. It was his idea.
You said if this happens, you are going to give me 100 MVP.
Yes.
And why do you think I said that? Because Cookson said he would.
What? With the chicken or the egg? You what? This is
How
not
did
the case
I
of that.
land on 100 MVP points?
Because
that's what
you're
you
an
asked
idiot.
for. You asked for that, and Cookson said sure because he.
I said I'd give you $100, and you said 100 MVP points. Because for some reason you think that's more.
Regardless, whether I came up with the idea, why are we dwelling on this?
Oh, because we spent 4 weeks talking about it, so we can at least spend 5 minutes to discuss it.
We do need to discuss the fact that Jake Stringer did fall horrendously short of the agreed upon target.
Horrendously short on agreed. You are a moron. He was never going to do it. It was a bold prediction. It would have been the biggest miracle if it happened. He was never going to kick.
No,
he kicked more than 4 in a game.
It was the agreed upon target, Dan.
Flogbet is not paying out this week.
Yeah, you'll all receive your frozen pizzas in the mail.
Hey man, a feast is a feast.
Can I please have mine with pineapple?
No, you're getting anchovies and all the shit stuff on it.
Oh, I had a really good pizza in the city this week, we got it delivered on Uber Eats from a place called Connie's. And it was like a New York style pizza. It was 18 inches and it was fantastic.
Jesus.
So if you're ever in the city, it's like across from Stalactites. There's a bar there and they serve pizza and they deliver them. Just take note. Connie's in the city. Delicious.
So is that our first plug?
Yeah, this has been your Uber Eats tip from Morgs. Come back next week. I might tell you about really good Chinese in the Collingwood area.
I just want to go through. I think we've got the hierarchy all wrong here. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst and 1 being the easiest, I think we can rate being black a 1, having red hair a 5, and being Dan a 10.
It's hard to be Dan.
It's very hard to be Dan.
Oh, it's very easy to be Dan.
Not when Jake Stringer lets you down and doesn't hit his quota.
All those lost points.
He kicked 2. Do I get 20 MVP points?
No.
No.
You get nothing. You get nothing.
You get nothing.
No, I don't know. What are we giving Thread of the Week to?
Craffles.
Ilksy.
Well, you guys all said Ilksy, so give it to Ilksy.
Ilksy it is then. He might not be on the bandwagon, but he's getting Thread of the Week. Flog of the Week. What have we got?
Frio Maniac.
4?
Because he's a little bitch.
I'd like to nominate Dan.
Didn't you try to do that last week?
Yeah, I think you won, didn't you?
Did I? I don't know. What's the reason now?
I don't know. I did it for the reaction. Don't worry about it. Forget that I said it.
That's really lazy and poor and cheap love. That's still better than
Oh, here we go.
There's your reaction.
Established 1997 for I don't think he's putting it on because he really cannot help it, biting on the fact that Geelong got off at the tribunal, got a bunch of free kicks, and Port are not very good. Screams legitimate melt for mine.
I said it at the time. I'll say it again now. My flog of the week will have to be Andrew Liancelli.
the dentist.
No arguments there.
I agree. The chief thing is just no.
Dishonourable to lethality. Fucking shut the fuck up.
Oh. He's having one friend only, the therapist couch. Anything else, he can fuck off.
There's not enough money in the world that could pay to fix that guy.
Yeah, I wonder what it would take. Shock therapy or fucking...
Maybe we should crowdfund just so we can take it to someone else so we don't have to hear about it all the time.
Next week's games, we could flip the coin because it is Anzac round. Do we want to flip 2 coins?
Yeah, 2 up.
2 up.
How does that work? Tipping though.
I don't know. We'll flip just to 1 more. Did you notice today when they were doing the pre-match, when the coin toss happened?
No.
And they announced it is a 1918 penny. And I was just thinking, it's just like Cookson giving us his coin that he's found to toss the coin for the game. I'm like, and that was what made me think that we had to toss the coin this week, because it was like they tossed the coin with an antique coin, and they named what year it was from and what currency it was, and I was just like, that is so...
They copied us.
Maybe so. G'day, romping wins. Do we have a coin?
Yep.
Cool, what do we got? What is the coin?
Well, which one do you want?
Well, give us the most interesting one you've got in your collection there.
I have a 2018 $2 coin Commonwealth Games with the colours on it.
Ooh.
Okay,
so it's colourful.
Yeah, it's gold and it's got like green and shit on it.
Ooh, okay.
What apparatus would you like me to flip it into?
Yes,
into a bowl? Or?
As long as it makes a noise, I think is okay. Otherwise, it'll fuck with Dan's autism.
Right. I got. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Doggies Carlton in one of probably the worst Friday night game of the season. We're going to get. Hopefully, the worst one we get.
Heads is home, tails is away. Yeah.
Heads is home. Yeah.
I just threw it
with a clang.
Hang on.
Just got to flip it in the air.
What?
It's not shot put. You just got to flip it in the air.
Yeah, I did. Into a saucepan.
To a sauce.
And it was a head.
Dogs will win. Morgs, can you have the next one bounce off your teeth?
Okay, hang on. Hang on.
She'll actually do it.
Hang
No,
on.
she might. No, don't. It's $2 coin. You actually might choke.
Okay. Next game?
Like so. Yes. Cats, collars. Cats are home team. Cheek ground.
Heads. Cats.
North versus the Puffers.
Puffers.
Giants versus the Lions.
Giants.
Giants. I'm not going to do it on the saucepan anymore because I just got in trouble. Tails.
Lions for the first win of the year.
This coin's a liar.
Hawks versus Saints.
Tails.
Saints.
Good coin.
Crowbots versus Suns.
Crowbots.
Essendon versus Melbourne.
Tails. Melbourne.
Collingwood versus Richmond.
Collingwood.
And the Derby, Freo versus West Coast.
West Coast.
And before we wrap, can we just get a tip for the Ross Glendenning medal?
It'll have to be JK because Freo not allowed to participate.
Yes, I would have said Nat Fyfe, but I don't think he's eligible. So
No, Lockie Neal, not eligible.
no.
I'll vote for him in the Sean McManus medal.
The Peter Bell.
Oh, the Jess Sinclair medal. Delicious.
The Clive Waterhouse spoon. Did they have any redheads, Freo, that we could honour?
Yeah, they could do us a honouring because they cop enough shit, don't they?
I don't know. The most famous singer on the planet's a redhead.
Yeah, and what made her great was the years of shit that
It's a
that
him.
That made him stronger mentally.
Him.
He persevered, and good on him.
Who is he, Dan?
I have no idea who she's talking about, and I don't care. I got to go. Hurry up. Let's finish this.
Where are you going?
Girlfriend wants to watch Planet Earth 2 on Netflix with David Attenborough.
Netflix is not going anywhere at 11 o'clock.
No, but, I got to be on time or I get yelled at, so...
You get yelled at here too. Anyway, this was the Flogcast for round 6. Starburns, joined by Cookson.
Goodbye.
Morgs.
I just hit my teeth.
And the White Knight of Redheads Everywhere, Dan.
He's already gone to watch Planet of the Apes. Or whatever.
Has he?
No, I'm still here. I didn't know what to say.
Goodbye?
Didn't want to
Goodbye or...
Why do you always struggle with goodbyes, Dan?
Ranger Lives Matter.
Red Lives Matter.
Red Lives Matter.
There you go. It took until 2.5 hours, but we got a title. Red Lives Matter.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you in about 4 days.
Oh, yeah, because it's Wednesday. What a stupid question.